Hi everybody, tonight's video will be how to do slippers. First we cast on the machine with waste yarn, one in the front, one in the back, starting by the black crochet. Not crochet hook, the black pin. Oh no. So you do that, put that under the lump and beside there, and you crank for 5 rows of waste yarn. If you don't know what is waste yarn, it's the yarn that will help us to close our tube at the end. So bring the new yarn, the project yarn, I put that right aside the yellow yarn, and I won't attach it because I will remove the yellow one after, so don't attach it. So we'll put that faster, and I need 50 rows. 50 rows. So you put that in your notebook, and I will put that a little bit faster after. Like this. And when I reach the 10 rows, I will put a stitch marker. What is the stitch marker? It's to help me to remind that I don't have a counter on this machine, and it would help me to keep the right amount of rows. So I put that just in front of my needle, and then I will crank. So every 10 rows I will add one. So now I miss a little bit of yarn, so I will add some. I just did like this. It's very easy, but you crank and you be careful not to get your knot in the yarn feeder. So you remove it, put that under the lump, the pink lump, and you make sure that the needle grab it, put that in the middle, and then you crank. Now it's time to cast off with waste yarn, so I will put some waste yarn in it, put that in front of the white needle, and then I will crank with 5 rows of waste yarn. The waste yarn will help me to remove it from the machine. Will be magic. When I will stop to give the waste yarn, it will remove by itself like this. Sometimes it gets stuck. Don't worry, it's happened to me. It will happen to you too. So time to put that aside. We will need 2 like this because we do slippers. So I've done my 2. You could see the stitch marker, 1 2 3 4, so it's mean it's 50 rows. So time to close the tube. I go the opposite way of my tail of yarn, and then I grab with the hook number 4.5 millimeter. I will grab one side like this, starting in the middle at the end, and grab another one, go on the other side. And if you don't get it, I will add a video in the video description on how to close tube. If you're not comfortable with the hook yet, I'll have a little trick to do it with the wool needle. Will help you to do some project till you get better with your hook, because you will need to know a little bit of hooking or crochet. I'm never sure how to use crochet and hook in my sentences in English, because in French it's crochet and we say we crochet, but when we use it, it's a hook. And in French, on crochette et on utilise un crochet. So we use a crochet in French, not a hook. So sometimes it's a little bit confusing for me. So sorry for that. So I continue, grab one side and grab on the other side. Make sure you grab all the stitches to prevent drop stitch. If it's drop stitch happen, it's always a way to fix it, don't worry. So we'll cheat here because my tail is not the right place. So with the wool needle, I will go and pick and grab my yarn and bring it exactly where I need it to close my rows. Like this. So time to remove the waste yarn. Sometimes it's a little bit tricky, but usually it's easy. So I will remove the first row like this, and usually that's the cast on part, because we cast on with the ends. When you remove it, you have to remove the first row, and then we will be able to pull on it. Don't worry. This almost time to pull on it. So we will do the same thing on the other side of the tube. Oh, it's stuck here. The yarn divide. So we'll cut it just a little piece here, and I will keep that yellow for another project. I keep my waste yarn in a little ball. So you check, no drop stitch, it's good. So now it's time to attach the other side, to close the other side. So I will make sure that my tube is not twisted, and I will go and adjust it, and oops. Okay, so I skipped one part, sorry for that. So now it's time to close the tube. I fold the tube in half, and I will go with mattress stitch, grab 2 stitch on one side. Try to stay on the same column to prevent your work to twist. Or you grab 2 bar or 2 stitch. You go in the middle of the V with the tip of your needle. And if you're not comfortable with that, sew it like you used to do for your other slippers, and you will be just fine. But this way I don't have to turn my slipper on the other side when I'm done. Will be invisible seam, so will be just fine. But if you're comfortable for with another way to close it, go and do it. Do what you're comfortable with. You don't have to do exactly what I do. Me, I just give idea. There. Grab 2 other on the other side. Pull. 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 See, it's magic. Can't see the seam. The seam is very wow. You can't see it. It blends. So we'll continue. Stay on the same column. Like this. I did those slippers with the leftover yarn. Just got enough. So lucky. There. And we'll pull to finish. Like this. Time to do a little knot on the heel. Those slippers are very easy to make and fun, because you just do and close both sides for the heels and the toe, and hide your tail of yarn, and voila, you're done. There, hide it. So now here I have like a loop here, so I will just hide it and twist it with the tip of my needle, and we'll blend it like this, and it's hide. Can't see it anymore. So do hide those tail, cut the excess, stretch it, and voila. You could see on the other side, it looks good too. and I will attach the toe. Now I do the same thing, so that's why it's a little fast. So I grab 2 on the side, 2 on the other side. If you decide to grab 1, grab 1 on the other side. Stay the same. I never grab 3, so if you do it and it work, let me know. Yeah, I only do 1 and 2. There. Continue. Almost there. Pull. And be careful not to pull too much and lose that part, because you will end up doing it again. So we'll do a little knot here, and I did in the double layer. Pull, and I will do the same here. We'll make sure it's very well closed. Voila. I do it double, and I did. Maybe the hard part will be the crochet part that is coming. So you see, it's a square. So for the crochet, I will go and do a slip knot, and I will chain. Voila, like this. I put that very slow, and I will chain under it, stitch after. That's not my usual hook. I bought it yesterday. They were cheap, so I will let them on my desk, so that way I will always have hook close to my work. So I did 100 stitch. Time to cut it, and I will do that 2 times with a hook number 4.5 millimeter. So I will put that on my wool needle, and time to add it on my little slippers. I will start at the heel, the top, not the heel, but the ankle, the cheville, ankle. And I will go every 2 or 3 columns. I grab it closer to the edge like this. I will put that a little bit faster, a little more. There. Go in and out. In and out. I slow it here. So you could see it's like a little purse. You could do a purse like this. So now I put that in my plastic feet, and it looked like this. I kind of love it. It was my first try for those, and I love it. So I will do a size 5 to 7 in women size. So they look funny just like that, 2 square. And you have cute slippers. They are nice to go if you go to a visit to one of your friends. You can bring it with a Ziploc and bring it with you. So see you next week for a new video.